everybody, and welcome to Saint-Jean-d'Angely. It's MXGP of Charente Maritime. First up on MXGP TV today with me, Paul Malin, is the bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale. And first race of the day, this is 65 class. We will have 85 and 125 tomorrow morning. But the opportunity for the young guys and girls in blue to prove themselves and receive some support through 2023 in the form of bike and parts for whatever races throughout Europe they decide to contest. But the racetrack here, 1,620 meters long, the same length as it was when we were here last in 2019. And I've got to say, apart from the dry areas on the infield, which is so normally luscious and green, a little bit dry, a little bit brown, but the racetrack itself, absolutely perfect. They've put a little bit of water down on the track just a few moments ago, right before the sighting lap of these little tiddlers on the YZ65s. But other than that, there are some nice lines developing. It's hard pack and slick in some other areas, but this 12-minute plus 2-lap race is going to be a challenge for some more than others. Zez starts straight about 90 meters into that right-hand, and then it climbs uphill through turn 2. 3 giant rollers on the top before left, and then right, bottom of the hill. There's now that big uphill triple. Final turn, and from the finish line, that's where sector 1 begins. And then sector 2, 3, 4, right the way back to the finish line. Nice little test track up on the top there, little supercross track. But you can see the area filling up nicely. Of course, we've just had MX2 and MXGP time practice. Not everybody will want to watch this 65 race, but for those who are watching, then I'm sure they'll be entertained all the same. David Durr, the Austrian, on pole with a 2:25.7. He was almost 2 seconds quicker than the French rider, Tillon Laguin. Miska Lane of Finland was third. Then we had Willard Gordon of Denmark, then Sam Rolliged, Alberto Rodriguez, Gianardo Gaio, Doma Pais, Liam Gasbeck, Tristan Johansson, Esteve Abella, Nixon Coppins, yes, the son of former World Championship medalist, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. Of course, there's a couple of third-place Motocross and Nations medals in there as well. Josh Coppins. So Nixon Coppins, 12th to the line. And then we've got Francisco Fernandez, Thomas Contautas, and then Ryan Lustenberger, David Offek. But there's your pole man, the number 100. David Durr leading the riders out on track. Big boss man there on the right-hand side with the glasses, Paolo Pavesio, Yamaha Europe. There's the number 7 of Doma Pais, and the 77 there of Liam Gasbeek. Gasbeek of the Netherlands. There's 7 riders actually that raced this competition a year ago. They are David Durr, your pole rider, the rider in 3rd, Miska Lane, and then the riders who sit 7th, 8th and 9th, well, that's how they'll go to the line, Leonardo Gaia, Doma Pais and Liam Gasbeek. And then one of the other riders, we look at our pole man, David Durr of Austria, Thomas Contautas and Esteve Abella, the Yamaha Ausio rider. So the riders making their way to the grid. 29 riders signed up for this. And of course, how they get here is based on their national championship status. They ride as we look at Tillon Laguin, they enter basically, they ride their national championship wherever they are in Europe, and then wherever they're placed, they still get an invite to this bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale. There is the 4.74 of Willard Gordon. Goes to line 4th for Denmark. Well supported this by the Scandinavian countries. A couple of Danes in here, more than a couple of Danes. We've got Swedes, we've got Finns, and we've also got a bunch of Germans in here as well. But it's the Austrian David Durr who will go to the line first, riding number 100. Now, is he over on the left-hand side? I think quite possibly. I think Nixon Coppins about 4 or 5 gates over from this inside line, riding number 6, riding a white helmet. So what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, about 6 gates over. There's another Brit in there as well, Logan Baker. But the 3:44, Tillon Laguin, the French rider, just looking nice and cool and calm and collected. There's the other Brit, look, the number 5 over there, Logan Baker. Just asking, can you just lift my front wheel on the strip of the mesh? So all good and fine there. Anyway, they fire the YZ65 Yamahas up into life. This is a one-make series. They bring their own bikes. They get the kit supported, provided by Yamaha Europe. They get their graphics kit. They get a whole bunch of goodies as well. But the winner of this, well, the top 3 plus a wild card will go to the SuperFinale at the end of the year, or the Masterclass. The fly race in 15-second borders turn to 5. The gate about to drop here. 12 minutes plus 2. Who will it be that gets that flying start? In fact, Coppins was about middle of the gate, and he emerges in 4th place. He goes uphill, closes down on some of the other riders there. The rider in the yellow helmet there, I think, was the 78 of David Ofek of Israel. But leading the riders downhill, I think it's the 344 of Thilan Lagan, the French rider. And of course, the home fans will be getting behind him. Next up, we have your pole man, David Dur. So the 100 of Austria is there in 2nd position. And the track and the field already starting to spread out here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. They watered this corner just before the sighting laps, and the uphill in the opposite direction. I was watching there as they were on their sighting lap. No problems though, despite the hard slick conditions. But it is Lagan that leads. Dur 2nd. Then the 474 of Willets Gordon is in 3rd place. The 733 of Samuel Rolliged, who rode here in this event in 2019 when we were on it last. And that was at Assen. Sorry, not Assen, last year, sorry, 2021, when we were at Mantova at the Motocross of Nations. 78 just picking himself up there. That's David Ofek, so he made a good start. But already struggling then with an issue. Up onto the highest part of the racetrack as they hit the Monster Energy tabletop. They'll turn right over that single, then launch down the Liquid Moly hill. Of course, for the MX2 MXGP boys, there is the landing there, about 4 boards up. But a good start this from Lagan. See where they watered at the start of the sighting lap, so on that left side. And the 78 still struggling, and he can't get that thing fired up. So problems there then for Ofek. But leading the way, the 344 of Thilan Lagan and the 100 of David Dur. So 2 riders, 1st and 2nd in the time practice in the opposite order this time around. The rider who qualified 2nd here is leading the race, and he'll be making his way towards the finish line in a few turns' time. Down back onto the start straight then, taking a wide sweep. The Austrian trying to give chase. About 4.5 seconds further back, we've got the 474 of Willets Gordon of Denmark. Then Nixon Coppins, he's in 5th place. The 15 of Miska Lane, who also rode last year at Mantova, finished 19th. Obviously looking to improve, and he's found himself into 5th place. So Coppins now in 6th, Pais 7, Rodriguez 8, Abella 9, and Fernandez 10. We'll get him over the line this time around, though, and we'll give you the update as to where everybody is and who everybody is. But it is Tyler Lagan who leads the way. Just up and over that little double on the climb there. David Dur is next. Then the 474 of Willets Gordon finds himself in 4th. The 15 of Miska Lane. Where was he actually in time practice? Because didn't look like he'd put in... oh, yeah, he was 3rd in the time practice session, so no surprise to see him up there then. Coppins now in 6th place. The number 7 of Domo Pais is next. He's in 7th place, ahead of the 115 of Alberto Rodriguez of Spain. And then the 74 of Esteve Abella. And the 113 of Francisco Fernandez, the Portuguese rider. Choice of lines there at the bottom of the hill. But the 100, David Dur giving chase in 2nd position. He's about 2.3 seconds down. Looked like that might have been the 65 of Ori Yosef El Yatim of Israel. So there's a couple of Israel's riders here this weekend. Tell you what, David Dur looks like he's closing massively on Thilan Lagan. Oh, he just caught a bit of a hole there as he re-emerged on the start straight. Through turn one they go. Here's your third place rider. So Willards Gordon, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Dane, of course nothing else would do, would it, if you're coming from that part of the world, but he's there in third place. The rider behind him, Samuel Rolliged, is in fourth, but he's about 6.3 seconds behind at the moment. So this third place looking nailed on for Willards Gordon at this moment in time. Meanwhile, Coppins has fallen down to 14th position, just looking at my timing screen here. The rider number 6, so Pais, Abella, Fernandez. The number 11 of Carl Christman of Estonia has moved up a position, so too the 77 of Liam Gasbeek. But the 344 is who continues to lead. That gap coming down, though, 1.7 seconds between him and David Dur, the number 100. I think that was the first look over the shoulder from the 344 of Leguin. Up onto the plateau. Not able to double there, obviously not able to get over this step up into this turn as well before launching back downhill. That gap now going back out to 2.6 seconds, so good couple of splits for Leguin as he does his best to defend that lead and keep David Dur behind him. Brian Jorgensen, former Grand Prix winner and in MXGP, former European champion as well. He's the ambassador for this Yamaha bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale bunch of riders. Doing the track walk as Dur closing in on the leader. But they also got to meet riders like Gauthier Paulin and Glenn Koldenoff. And they did the track walk in those different groups. So really are a part of the paddock and this Grand Prix here this weekend at Charente Maritime at Saint-Jean-d'Angely, about an hour and a half north or so, hour and 45 minutes north of Bordeaux. Although we are quite closer to La Rochelle, about 40 minutes from La Rochelle, the nice port town on the west coast. Never been there before, but told it's a beautiful part of the world. But the gap, as you can see, coming down to almost nothing now between Tyler Leguin and David Dur. Dur, who was fastest in the time practice session. It was a free practice into a time practice, and it was Dur who was fastest in that by 1.8 seconds over Leguin. But you can see Leguin with a good start. He's absolutely running away with this one, but he's being caught now, though. Downhill into the finish line jump, into the right-hander. See how the circuit just starting to go down to the rock and the stones as it dries out. The amount of lines through that next turn as they prepare to launch up over that double jump. Willards Gordon is still third. The 733 of Samuel Rolliged is fourth. The 115 of Alberto Rodriguez is fifth. Then the 7 of Doma Pais from Hungary, actually. He is in sixth place. The 74 of Esteve Abella finds himself in seventh. Then we've got the 113 of Francisco Fernandez, the 15 of Miska Lane, and the 161 of Loic Antoine of Germany. So they are your top 10. Nixon Coppins is 11th. Then we have the 461 of Lustenberger, Carlson, Canavo, Contautas, Kreistmann. Whoa, back markers doing their best to stay out of the racing action ahead of them, or behind them. Leguin almost catching the rider there. Might have been the 168 of Vic Markusson. First two still separated by not a lot. Coming under pressure then. More back markers, 78, who was down on the opening lap. David Offek, good to see that he is back in the race as the leaders come charging through. Just under 2.5 minutes plus 2 laps remain in this 12 plus 2 race. Leguin under threat now from the 100. Of course, he would love to win here at his home round. This is just a one-race only deal. Remember the first three plus a wild card who the bLUcRU community decide who should have that wild card ride. And then they go to the masterclass, I guess sometime in October, where they go for a couple of days, a little bit more intense training and things like that. And then Brian Jorgensen, the bLUcRU ambassador, will make a decision as to who receives the support. Well, it's going to be tight, deciding who gets the support next year between Legain and David Deur, the French and the Austrian. Oh, go down hard. So the 4.74 and of Gordon, I think, did he connect with the back marker? I think he did there. So Gordon stays up, but the back marker launching himself into oblivion down the hill. So as we look at Deur, all of a sudden, sector 1, he's just lost 4 seconds, so that gap now going out to 4.5 seconds. And the 2-lap board will go out next time around. So I just wonder whether he got caught in something or just got held up in a turn. Because Legain now, in fact, that gap is coming down already because he's pulled back that time immediately. It was 20.5 and 24.06 at sector 1. And then Legain has made a mistake, 34.03 compared to a 31.5. So the gap now back to 2 seconds. There's the leader on the FC Moto jump. Just now. And then you've got David Deur closing in fast. So maybe Legain just thought, you know what? I've shook him off. And I'm home and dry with this one. Well, that'll be a mistake to think like that, but he's also approaching traffic. And the first two are going to be locked together once again. 2 back markers on the horizon here. Coppin's back up in 10th place, by the way, for those who are listening down under. And across through Britain. Obviously, he resides here, but... Right, back markers just holding their ride line. The 100 of David Deur definitely closing in on Tyler Legain. That's these two here. Are we going to see a change in the final 2 laps? Well, David Deur, the Austrian, will certainly fancy his chances. These two 38 seconds clear of our 3rd place rider, the 4.74 of Willards Gordon, who should be on the podium because he has a 12-second advantage over 4th place Rodriguez. Time is up, 2-lap board getting ready. Over on the left-hand side, right as we look onto the finish line area. 1.3 separate them. We still have a French leader in this YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale, the 65cc race here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely, part of the MXGP of Charente Maritime. See how the track is drying out now as the day goes on. We've actually been blessed with cloudy weather so far, as I think that was the number 5 of Logan Baker, just trying to get himself re-fired up. Spoke to his dad yesterday and said the whole atmosphere in and around the Yamaha village, absolutely perfect, mega and all the rest of it. Best thing he's been to. But downhill for the penultimate time. Your 2 leaders still led out by Tyler Legain and David Deur. Oh, I tell you what, Legain just starting to labour up the hill. Just looked like he ran into a little bit of heavy ground there. Deur catching him. More back markers on the horizon. Both of them navigate safely, though. 301, Emilio Karlsson of Sweden. That rider, he's in 17th position. Ah, nicely done there, but Legain. Oh, and Deur throws it away. He'll pick himself up, rejoin the race. And Tyler Legain, the French fans will go absolutely crazy for that. I mean, there's a 46-second advantage anyway between Deur and the 3rd place rider, Gordon. But Legain now with just over a lap to go. should be home and dry, but we saw how easy it is to make a mistake. The 22 there of Cristiano Canavo of Switzerland. Moving out of the way, he's in 15th position. As the leader there, 3:44. He has about 2.5 minutes of racing yet to do when he hits the finish line. And he will stand on the top step of the podium here and win in France, in front of the French public. So his lap time last time around, a 2:27.5. And actually, you know what? Davideur only lost 10 seconds. So 10.3 seconds, the gap between him and Legain. Keep an eye on the splits. Shouldn't be able to relinquish this lead here, but I was impressed with how quickly Davideur, the Austrian, tried to get back on his bike, pick it up, get it fired up, looking around, see where the next guy was, all of those things. But the number 74 of Esteve Abea, the Yamaha Alzio rider, has found his way past the number 7 of Doma Pais, moves into 5th place. We've got waved yellows at the bottom of the hill, no doubt. A lot of ruts here. Yeah, somebody just got going there, and then they're being told to get over to the left-hand side at the top of the next hill, because obviously somebody fallen just at the top. He looks like he's okay. But the gap now going out to 14.4 seconds between Legain and Deur. So almost home and dry then, the French rider. I wonder if we'll get a national anthem here. Yeah, we will. Talking of national anthems, during one of the practice sessions this morning, I think it was EMX 250, probably a dozen or so crazed French fans already on the source, singing their national anthem loudly, amongst other things. Number 11 there, about to get lapped, Carl Chrisman of Estonia. Where is he? He's in 11th place. So the leader coming through. Coppins up to 9. He's following through. So he's followed Antoine through Grasbeek and also Kreisman. So into the final turn or two. All of a sudden, Tyler Legain. I wonder if he'll celebrate over the finish line. The French rider going into this final turn, he had about a 16-second advantage, and he's going to cross the line. He's going to take the checkered flag. Tyler Legain styles it for the home fans. Big clutch in, big panic rev. And he is going to stand on the top step of the podium. Of course, we'll see him and Davideur, waiting for Deur to come through of Austria. And then the 474 of Willards Gordon. Second place over the line then, Davideur, just losing the front at the wrong moment. But Tyler Legain, fantastic ride for him. We are waiting for 3:44, Tyler Legain to come through. He's crossed the line. He won by just under 16 seconds. Deur second. 474 is going to be next, and that is Willards Gordon. So Tyler Legain goes down the High Five Avenue. Brian Jorgensen there. Just giving them the advice that they need now as they head to the podium. So just go back down there, and the top three will all get called down there. So the first and only race for the YZ65 bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup, the super finale here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely, normally at the Montreux FIM Motocross of Nations. Coming to an end then here. We've still got Lane, Antoine, Coppins and Gaspeak out on the track. Lane over the line now in 7th place. The 161 of Antoine not too far behind him. So Loic Antoine And then he was about 3 seconds clear of the number 6 of Nixon Coppins. And it's Antoine who crosses the line now. And then if we see the white helmet, yeah, so there is Coppins, goes through in 9th place. And then the 77 of Liam Gaspy. Anyway, let's go down to Lisa. She should be with our winner, Tyler Legan.
Tyler Legan, congratulations. You're the Yamaha 65 Cup winner, and you did it in front of French fans.
Je sais pas moi. French. Mais je comprends pas. Je comprends pas. Et je comprends rien. Merci beaucoup tout le monde de m'avoir entraîné ici. Et je remercie Yamaha pour cette course, de m'avoir inscrit et tout. Merci tout le monde.
Thank you.
Tyler Legan taking the win here by 16 seconds over David Dor. The Frenchman getting the whole shot, the perfect start. And he led every one of the 7 laps to cross the line in front of the French fans. Victorious here at the bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale. Give the official confirmation then of those riders then. So Tyler Legan wins it from David Dor, Willards Gordon, and then the 115 of Alberto Rodriguez. The 74 of Esteve Abella was next, and then the 7 of Doma Pais, the 15 of Miska Lane, and Loic Antoine. Rounding out the top 10, we had Nixon Coppins and the 77 of Liam Gaspik. And behind them we had Kreisman, Fernandez, Lustenberger, Johansson, Canavo, Kontautas of Lithuania, Rossen, Rolliged, Banksman, Heisman. And obviously they were the point scorers, but congratulations to everybody who made it here to Saint-Jean-d'Angely for this YZ65 bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale. And getting around and competing on a Grand Prix track, not easy, but also in front of the biggest crowd they've probably ever raced in. And obviously this is a Saturday crowd for MXGP, but even still, quite a daunting place, great atmosphere. And they're obviously under the watchful eye of some major teams and some fantastic riders as well. Even the world champion, Tim Geiser, was watching on track this morning. So in a moment then, we'll go down to the podium area. As you can see, the backdrop there, the bLUcRU FIM Europe Europe Cup SuperFinale here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely, part of the MXGP of Charente Maritime here in the southwest of France. But third overall, the 474 of Willards Gordon of Denmark. Probably seen this on TV a million times, this kind of podium ceremony, but having to do it for the first time, all of a sudden it's like, oh, protocol, helmet, where, what? So David Dor, the Austria, crossing the line in 2nd place. He was your fastest rider in the time practice session, but wasn't able to do anything about Legan. He got close as he was preparing to make a pass. He just made that slip. But the French rider, Tyler Legan, will stand on the top step of the podium. And of course, the French fans that did watch that, that's where all the noise is coming from. That is to their riders left. And the best girl there, Ellen Rosten. And then the youngest rider, Jan Huisman. So Jan Huisman coming home in 20th place. Alexander Kowalski, Yamaha Motor Europe off-road racing manager, delivering the trophies then to the 3rd place rider, Willards Gordon. And he'll stay over there. Heavily supported by Yamaha Europe, Yamaha Motor Europe. 2nd place trophy to David Dor, Paolo Pavesio. Congratulating everybody there. And we've got a Japanese coming over as well, special for this occasion, as he delivers the #1 plate to the winner, David Dur. Judging by the lack of graphics there, I think it was expected that just one person was going to do the honours. So Manon Breuer, race brand market specialist for Yamaha Motor Europe, handing trophy to the young lady in the race there. And Gauthier Paulin, of course, needs no introduction, handing the youngest rider trophy to the 141 of Jan Huisman of the Netherlands. Trophies up. What a fantastic day, what a fantastic weekend these guys and girls have had here. And hopefully it just sows the seed for them to one day become professional racers. But Tyler Legain, your winner here, he will experience the national anthem from the top step of the podium at home. So the Marseillaise bursts around the Saint-Jean d'Angely circuit here then for the winner, Tyler Legain. Of course, there'll be another podium ceremony here, I guess, but we will talk to the top three in just a few moments' time, I'm sure, but there will be some highlights of the race coming up. And just looking at the running order as well, and we do have MX250 race 1 in about 2 minutes time, so it might just be that we see the medals then. Of course, this is an FIM Europe sanctioned event, so bronze, silver and gold medals going to our podium riders. Willis Gordon, third overall. The second silver medal for David Dur of Austria. He was 16th here in Mantova last year when he raced this. So obviously a massive improvement for the young Austrian. And Tyler Legain didn't race in the super finale last year, but he walks away from here with a gold medal as the winner of the YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale winner. And they are your top three: Tyler Legain, David Dur and Willis Gordon. And as you can hear, the EMX 250 riders getting ready for their sighting lap ahead of their first race. But good job, guys and girls, and congratulations to everybody that lined up in the 65 race. We'll have more from the YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale tomorrow when we have the first race of the day, and that'll be the 125s first thing Sunday morning, followed by 85s before we get on with EMX 250, MX2 and MXGP. But there's your winner, Tyler Legain. Right, we're out of time. We'll see you in about 30 seconds for EMX 250 Race 1.